Happy holidays, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of Luau Talk, where we're going to tell you some Christmas stories. Have a little chocolate. Something different. Something next. If you saw that tin is from the great Ethel M. Chocolate. Check them out online. If you're in the Vegas area, you can check them out there. This is a special episode, right? It's something different that I bring to you. Obviously, you see the case in the background starting to come together a little bit. A lot of people ask me what's going to be in the new year, what's going to be different, as I have a little piece of chocolate. So very good. Ethel M Chocolates, they make these liqueurs and these really like from the kitchen mom type made chocolates. They're fabulous. Check them out. Ethel M Chocolate. We're not here to talk what's going to happen next year, all that good stuff. We're here to give you a fun Luau Talk Christmas edition as I sit here with my Grinch hat, my little Grinch shirt. And this video finds you on Christmas Eve. I wish and hope that all of you have a wonderful, happy, and safe Christmas season, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve night. And you know, the whole week, if you have the week off leading up to New Year's, and have a wonderful, safe, and happy New Year's. Me personally, I'm not a huge New Year's person, but maybe there'll be a New Year's story in this whole story, because these are interesting stories that just happen to me around the holiday season, and I thought, what better way than to share them with you? Maybe you'll get a laugh. Maybe it'll just be absolutely mesmerizing what I say, because these are very unique stories. Alright, let's come with me and let's go on a journey. Let's start this story off Christmas 1985-1986 I think is about when this story takes place. Could have been 87, but I think more along the lines of 1986. The big Christmas gift that year was a Matchbox Deluxe diecast GB36, not Y and K, Voltron figure. And there was a lot of other, I think there was some G.I. Joe stuff. I can't remember much other than that. It was right before Nintendo, you know, so there wasn't Nintendo at that time. My mother, single mother, you know, at the time, wrapped vigorously all the Christmas gifts for me and my sister. She stayed up, I believe the story is, till like 3 or 4 in the morning wrapping presents. Might have even been close to 5, I don't know, something along those lines. And she went to bed. Me and my sister woke up, and I don't remember why, how, or what triggered it, but my mom was obviously sleeping. We both went into that living room, and we both ripped into the plethora of Christmas. That is right. The two of us opened every single Christmas gift without my mother even being awake. My mother woke up, came in the living room, sat there in just utter disbelief, totally mesmerized that all of the hard work, she did not get to reap the benefits of taking photos and enjoying opening and seeing our faces. She sat down in the middle of all the wrap and cried. There it is. Story number 1. Story number 2 takes us to a New Year's story. Me and my wife, currently my wife, then was not my wife, we were just dating. This was December, and I want to say it was probably December of 2000. No. Yes, December of 2000. Yes, it was. We were in New York, and this was right after Christmas. And we've been dating maybe 2 months. I think our first date was in November 7th. And this is the end of December, right? So we haven't been dating long. And I thought a great Christmas gift would be to take her to New York City and go to the Philharmonic Orchestra. And there's another story around Valentine's Day. I won't tell that, but we didn't go to the Plaza. Yeah. We stayed at a hotel called the Mark, and this was literally, I think, 2 days. No, it was the day before New Year's Eve. Was it? Yes, I think something like that. Anyway, we go to the Philharmonic Orchestra. I lost the tickets to the Philharmonic Orchestra. I left them, I think, somewhere, I don't remember, with a train ride up to New York. So that was a whole nother ordeal. We stay at the nice Mark. I set it up really, really nice, because I had strawberries, whipped cream, and Dom Perignon waiting for us in the room after we went to the Philharmonic. And I forget how we worked out the tickets, but it all worked out. We sat in the Philharmonic, and I actually fell asleep through the whole entire event. That's apparently a good thing, I guess, that the music is so soothing that it puts you to sleep. I don't remember much about it, I'll be quite honest with you. She lost her diamond tennis bracelet during that whole event. Yeah. Anyway, we go back, and it was a good night. Giggity. You know. Anyway, there was dirty dice and all this other stuff. I won't get into those kind of stories, but good night had by all. Then the next day, it snows. Tremendous snowstorm in New York City. We go to the train station, and now this is the day before New Year's Eve. And, you know, I tell her, they're canceling all this stuff. It's the snow. It's a mess. And, you know, obviously we had a good night. I kind of wanted to keep it going. Just saying. So, we could have got to Philadelphia, but I couldn't have gotten to Philadelphia home. You know what I mean? So we would have, you know, I just said we're stuck in New York the night. Now, I didn't go to the Mark, and we went to another hotel, referred to as the Shining Hotel, the Philadelphia Hotel in New York City, right across from Madison Square Garden and the train station. And we got a room there. And I remember it wasn't cheap. It wasn't like the Mark, you know, it wasn't like a fancy hotel, but the doors were red. It was super seedy. But, you know, we stayed and had another good night. Giggity. Number 2. Anyway, we went to the train station the next day, but we went to New York City, and we got to see in Times Square, we got to see them lining up, and this was right around 11 a.m. They're busting in the cops and getting ready for New Year's Eve. It was quite the spectacle to physically see that whole event take place. We went to lunch, and then we got on the train. The train was delayed. They were sitting there with the doors open. It was cold. Eventually, we get to Philadelphia. And we were supposed to go from Philly to home, but we only were able to get to Philadelphia, and because of delays and everything like that. Anyway, they put us up in a hotel, so I didn't have to buy this hotel. They put us up in a hotel, and I think my mother was driving to Philadelphia the next day to pick us up and drive us home. Unbeknownst, remember, we're like, even though my wife is out of college and everything like that, she was still living home with her parents, and we were late, like 2 days late. You know, her father, anyway. So we're at this hotel, and then we decide to go out because it's New Year's Eve. So we went out, she went out to a bar, and I think took 2 shots of 151 or something. I mean, she was toasted. Then we had spiked tea back at the hotel, and there was hickeys, and I mean, it was one heck of an evening, let me just tell you that. So much so I needed to put on a turtleneck to go home the next day. Giggity, number 3. Anyway, we got home. Her dad was really, really pissed. It was what it was. Fun time. Weird time. A lot of fun. There it is. Story number 2. Now, as story number 3 progresses, we are now married. My wife is 8 months pregnant, and we decide to host Christmas at our house with my mother and sister, my aunt and uncle, and they were bringing my aunt's father, who was at the time had kind of like dementia. And then my grandmother was there, and it was just wild, right? My wife didn't want to do it because she had to work that night at 11 p.m. She had to be at work. So anyway, she rested. She stayed up at 11 o'clock. My mother comes and makes some punch. There's crab bisque. Everyone's eating, and my aunt and uncle are drinking this punch. They're toasted. I mean, literally, I remember there was a football game on. I want to say the Jets were playing. I just vaguely remember that. They're passed out on the couch. My grandmother's like resting. My mom and sister are, you know, whatever. And my aunt's father. Now, granted, my wife is upstairs getting ready for work. This is probably like 9:30 at night. Getting ready for work. I'm not, no, you know, we're clean. I'm cleaning up, blah 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 blah, and you know, my aunt and uncle are passed out, and you know, her dad goes to the bathroom. No one thinks anything of it. Okay, he might have been in there for a little while. No one ever thought anything of it. Well, my wife comes downstairs and looks in our, you know, bathroom on the first floor, and our dog, which is a Chinese Shar Pei, is eating something off the floor. Well, here, the guy lifted the toilet seat. He squats. He pisses on the toilet and shits all over the wood floor. And we're talking old man shit. It's got a unique odoriferous emanation. Our Chinese Shar Pei is eating said old man shit. And it's in the wood. I mean, it was unbelievable. So my wife is just freaking, right? My aunt and uncle they're waking up to this. What's going on? He shit and pissed all over the bathroom. As the dog mostly cleaned a lot of it up. I'm spraying Yankee Candle fresh linen, which was my wife's favorite scent. However, that was the last time that was my wife's favorite scent. She does not like that scent anymore. Cannot use that in the house. And anyway, they barely get out of the house. She literally goes to work in absolute tears. Now, he did spot me $100, you know, for the whole incident. I never told her that. Hopefully she doesn't look at this video. But anyway, that Christmas was to always be known as the Don Dookie Christmas. Now, old man shit has quite the scent, I'm telling you. I brushed that dog's teeth with dog toothpaste, couldn't get a scent out. I brushed him with Crest toothpaste. I couldn't get that smell out. The only thing I could do to get that old man shit smell out of his mouth and breath was take Listerine, put it in his mouth, close his jaw, and shake his head up. That's all I could do. Yeah. That, my friends, the Don Dookie Christmas is story number 3. And that brings us to our last Christmas story time with Luau. This takes place a couple years after the Don Dookie Christmas. And my wife's family had this idea to drive up to the mountains because they would go hunting. And then on the way back from hunting in upstate PA, they would stop and get Christmas trees, cut a Christmas tree down, and bring it down with them. The nice thing, they had reindeer there. So they had this idea to let's go up and get a Christmas tree. Let my son, who was probably 3 at the time, see the reindeer. Let's do it, right? Oh, okay. They're going to drive. It is a 3-hour trip up. 3 hours one way. We're going to stop and get breakfast, everything like that. Now, unbeknownst to me, I'm not dressing for this event. It's very, very cold. I mean, we're talking, I think it was in the 20s or the teens here. 10 degrees colder when you get up to the mountain area. And originally they were going to drive. So I'm not really getting ready for this. I'm not expecting I'm going to cut a tree down, whatever. You know, my wife is wearing her long johns and stuff. I'm just wearing regular jeans and a jacket. That's just what it is. We get to their parents' house, and all of a sudden now we're taking 2 cars. Which, let's face it, irritates me because I wasn't planning on driving. Alright, we drive. We stop, I think it's IHOP, you know, whatever. We get there. Her parents are in the back of their truck putting on, like, big, huge, one-piece coveralls because it's freaking cold. There is nobody at this place. There is nobody. All the workers and everything, they're inside. Ain't nobody there. He doesn't give 2 rats batookies about seeing a reindeer. We go in the building, and my wife then is not going to go. She's going to stay there and drink hot chocolate with him and pick out a nice wreath inside. We get these guys who really don't want any part to put you in a trailer and a tractor and drive you down to these trees, but they do. And now I've got to go cut a godforsaken tree down in the absolute freezing cold, and I'm not dressed for it. So we get down there. He drops my mother and father-in-law off, drops me off, and we're looking around to pick a tree. He said, just wave and we'll drive back down to get you. So I got to cut this tree down. I've got to drag this tree now to the road. I've got to wave you down, and it's going to take you another 5 to 10 minutes to drive down here and get me. Well, alrighty then. I picked the first godforsaken tree I found. I didn't measure. I didn't do anything. Then I said, alright, where's the saw? My father-in-law hands me like a little pocket saw, pull out. I got that tree down so quick it wasn't even funny. Lickety-split, we cut this bastard down. I take it out to the road and I'm waving him down. What are you doing? I got the tree, I'm ready to go. We didn't get our tree. Son of a... Anyway, needless to say, it's another 45 minutes of listening to bickering between the two of them, measuring a godforsaken tree, till they get a tree. I'm like a popsicle. We get them down here, we wrap the trees up. My wife and son are enjoying, they got a nice little ornament, nice little wreath. Drank hot chocolate, everyone's happy, except me. That was the beginning of the end of the Christmas tree. But stay tuned, because I have one little bonus story for you to end this video. So there it is, guys. You've heard my childhood Christmas story, my dating Christmas story, not for kids, my Don Dookie Christmas, my cutting a Christmas tree down, and as one little bonus episode left, I will tell you how we ended the natural Christmas tree. Now, if that's not enough of that last story to get rid of real Christmas trees, well, my wife loved real Christmas trees. This is a bonus little episode for you, little story. And my kids had allergies, right? And we always had real trees, had to have real trees. Now, it's lovely that we do as a family of putting the trees up. But when it comes to taking the tree down, it is all on me. I put every ornament away, and I got to get the thing out of there with needles going all over the place and everything. Anyway, my kids had allergies. We're sitting in the doctor's office, and allergies always go around the Christmas, and she said, well, yeah, the worst thing you could possibly do with kids with allergies is put a real Christmas tree in your house. It's the worst thing you can do. Not just the bugs and possible things that are in it. It's not good. So I'm sitting there with the doctor, and I'm like, so you would recommend with their allergies that we go to a artificial tree? Well, yes, that would be ideal. Would you take your little prescription pad and write that down for my wife? And she looks at me, and she said, you're serious? I said, absolutely, I'm serious. Would you write me a note basically saying you highly recommend an artificial Christmas tree for our children? She did. I showed it to my wife. That 2 days later, I went and got a Christmas tree. I think I got it from Home Depot, because I don't shop at Lowe's. Long story. Another story for another time. Got a Christmas tree, and ever since then, I made sure it was I could do regular lights and rainbow lights, because she hates rainbow lights on the tree. And then that was the story how we never ever will go back to a real Christmas tree. That tree can go up a week before Thanksgiving and stay up till 2 weeks after Christmas. And it doesn't matter, every single year. It's easy to put together, beautiful lights, and away we go. And to this day, it irritates my wife something fierce. And I love it. And as this year, we got another artificial tree for our landing. Irritates my wife. I have a 6-foot talking, dancing Grinch. Irritates my wife. The simple joys of marriage. Hopefully you enjoyed this special episode, guys, of, you know, a little fun time. A little story time with me. Christmas style. Hopefully you find these stories funny. Ball busting. All true. Not even embellished a little. Thank you for joining me on this special episode, guys. I truly do appreciate it. Have a wonderful Christmas season. Enjoy the unboxing videos and everything that we will do this week and into January. And at that point, we will see what happens. Thanks for joining me, guys, on this video. Enjoy. Happy holidays. Be well, be safe, and Happy New Year.